Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gomansing. Topping our newscast, 2 St. Croix roadways will finally be getting some much-needed attention. Governor Mapp announced Monday that he signed 2 contracts for public works to begin road projects in Christiansted. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
This is what residents in the area have to deal with when they drive through Zion Hill and Rattan. It's particularly bad twice a day when parents drop off and pick up their children from Free Will School. This road has been identified by Public Works as one of 2 projects signed off this week by Governor Kenneth Mapp. This stretch of road ahead of me is riddled with potholes, and officials say that this Zion Hill project will be done in 2 phases, starting from the Free Will Baptist Church that we saw earlier and ending right here at the old water tank. Downtown Christiansted has also been tagged for improvements. Company Street will be completely resurfaced within the next 2 months. VI Paving Company was awarded the contract at a price tag of roughly $364,000. The entire roadway will be milled down 4 inches, repaired, and then resurfaced. VI Paving Company will also handle the Zion Hill project. That contract is budgeted for just over $250,000 for the first phase. Both projects are expected to begin in the next few weeks. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Once the road work begins, Public Works officials urge motorists to exercise caution and follow all signs and directions from flaggers. In other news, just as the St. Croix board gained a new member after the Senate's approval of Vera Falou's nomination, the board is losing 1 member that has led the body and served as a member for years. But according to Anthony Ricketts, it's time to step down and focus more on his patients. News 2's April Knight has that story.
The Juan Louis Hospital Board is down another member, but this loss does not come as a surprise. Anthony Ricketts, who chaired the St. Croix Hospital Governing Board for 3 years, is stepping down. Ricketts has been on the St. Croix Board through some critical times, including the threat of the hospital's decertification by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS. Without CMS reimbursement for insured patients, the hospital could lose millions of dollars every year. For some time, Ricketts and the rest of the board dealt with persistent issues plaguing the hospital, including paying their vendors, streamlining their revenue cycle, and making sure they have sufficient personnel. After Governor Mapp's visit to CMS, he appointed his communications director Kim Jones and Deshabert Schuster to join the board headed by Ricketts and with 2 other board members. They worked together to beat a 9-month deadline to maintain CMS certification. Last week, CMS gave Juan Louis Hospital an extension. The hospital will continue under Medicare, but at the same time, making improvements under a Systems Improvement Agreement, or SIA, until the end of the year.
We are committed to this. We know that the road is going to be extremely difficult and that today is not the end, but it's just the beginning of what we need to do.
Ricketts announced that he wants to devote more time to his private practice. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
And Dr. Ricketts is returning to being a community pediatrician, his medical practice for 15 years. As Vitima approaches its annual All Hazards Expo, they announced a major improvement in their emergency alert system that could be a game changer in times of emergency. According to Vitima's director, Mona Barnes, this new system of communicating with the territory during emergencies is going to help save lives. News 2's April Knight has more.
Vitima's emergency notification just went up another level. They're tapping into the federal government's IPAWS, or Integrated Public Alert and Warning System.
I'm telling you, I am so happy that we now have this way of communicating.
Currently, residents can sign up for VI Alert to receive notifications on any number of emergencies, from tsunamis to earthquakes to hurricanes.
Well, VI Alert, you send messaging and you have to sign up for VI Alert. The difference with IPAWS, you don't have to sign up. Whether you sign up or not, it doesn't matter. You will get the message.
According to Director Barnes, with the current VI Alert system, only about 10% of the community is reached by emergency warnings. With the new IPAWS, the numbers go up to 50%.
It's automatic. Okay. Yes, yes. So all the carriers within the Virgin Islands, any cell phone that hits a tower will get the message.
The emergency message goes out to the community through various means and not just the usual text messaging.
In the past, where you probably had a messaging and it went over probably 2 radio stations and then they told other radio stations, everyone, cell phone, internet, radio, television can get that message.
According to Barnes, it's a big step for the local emergency management agency and one that has a huge potential to save lives. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, for more information on the new alert system, you can go to Vitima's website at www.vitima.gov or visit FEMA at www.fema.gov. Well, the Coast Guard suspended the search for possible survivors from the cargo ship El Faro at sunset on Wednesday, which is believed to have sunk during Hurricane Joaquin. Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, Air National Guard, and tugboat crews searched more than 183,000 square nautical miles off the Bahamian coast in a joint effort to locate the El Faro crew. The El Faro, a 790-foot roll-on, roll-off cargo ship, was en route to San Juan, Puerto Rico from Jacksonville, Florida. The Coast Guard did locate a deceased person in a survival suit, as we reported in the water Sunday night. A heavily damaged lifeboat with markings consistent with those on board the El Faro were also located on Sunday. Well, District Court Chief Judge Wilma Lewis on Wednesday sentenced Chevron Percival, 25, of St. Croix, to 4 months in prison and 1 year of supervised release for possession of prison contraband. Judge Lewis also ordered Percival to pay a $500 fine. On May 7, 2015, Percival pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession of prison contraband. As part of his plea, Percival admitted that he possessed a cellular telephone that was found in his basketball shorts while he was an inmate at Golden Grove. Cellular telephones are prohibited contraband in correctional facilities because they are known to be used by prisoners to intimidate witnesses, orchestrate narcotics transactions, and facilitate other criminal activity, including murders. We'll turn our attention overseas. Democrats in the House are pushing the Transportation Security Administration to change its procedures for screening transgender passengers after a woman said she was mistreated last month at Orlando International Airport. A group of 32 Democratic House members said they have strong concerns about the TSA's treatment of transgender passengers after that woman, Shady Petoskey, complained on Twitter about being held at an airport security checkpoint for 40 minutes because of an anomaly that was cited when she passed through one of the TSA's full-body X-ray machines. And keeping our eye on the economy, here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. As we can see, everything up there. The Dow up 138, NASDAQ 19, S&P 500 17. Coming up on News 2, Senator Terrence Nelson has been calling for peace in recent weeks. He's hosted 3 planning meetings and a public forum to come up with ideas to respond to the rising violence across the territory. That's coming up next. Welcome back. Services for David Canton were underway early this evening. A viewing was held at the Richard Colwood Command at Alexander Farrelly Criminal Justice Center. Now, tributes are scheduled from 8 to 8:45 a.m. on Friday at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral as well. Services set for 9 a.m. Interment will be at the Western Cemetery No. 2. Governor Mapp said Canton set the standard for criminal investigative technique and supervision. He was known as a great detective. We will have more on his life achievements in Friday's newscast. Senator Terrence Nelson has been calling for peace in recent weeks. He's hosted 3 planning meetings and a public forum to come up with ideas to respond to the rising violence across the territory. The first rally for peace will be held this Saturday at Island Center, and Nelson's asking for the community's full support.
Violence has been rising across the territory.
One of the men in our church was beaten and virtually left for dead in D. Hamilton Jackson Park in Grove Place on August 17th.
In answer, Senator Terrence Nelson has been hosting peace talks with community stakeholders and the public to come up with a response to the violence.
All of you who have been impacted by the violence in our community, whether you are families of perpetrators or families of victims, everybody needs healing. And that is what this is about.
On Saturday, Nelson's Peace Committee will host their first major event, a peace memorial service.
If we don't start from within our hearts and our souls to start working to heal this community, we're going to be in danger. We're already in danger.
Turn to your friends and your family and ask them to come out to this peace rally. We're trying to curtail all the violence. The violence are now to a point where it is everybody's duties and responsibility to make St. Croix back the way it was in the past.
The theme this group has taken on is Give Peace a Chance, and that's the expectation for this Rally for Peace at Island Center Saturday starting at 4.
This is so critical. We don't want anyone to miss it. It's not a religious gathering necessarily. It's not just a political affair necessarily. It's a community affair. We want everybody to come out, be a part of this, because it is said that evil triumphs over good when good people do nothing.
Erica Parsons, NEWS2.
Great message there. Now, Senator Nelson is urging everyone to participate in Saturday's Rally for Peace, particularly families. There's also an opportunity for students to get community service credits. The Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Council is launching a new initiative targeting junior high school students. It's a territory-wide prevention education program called the Healthy School Initiative. It's an 8-week program that will be conducted at Adelita Cancrine and John H. Woodson Junior High Schools in collaboration with HIDA.
So this other component is the Healthy School Initiative, where we have partnered with HIDA, which stands for High Intensity Drug Trafficking Areas, which most people might say, well, you're domestic violence and sexual assault, what does that have to do with, drugs and trafficking? Well, turns out domestic violence, sexual assault is not an isolated issue. It's something that intertwines with a lot of different issues, including drugs and alcohol. And many times we find that there are instances of domestic violence or sexual assault, there's alcohol or some kind of drug that's involved. And so we are partnership with HIDA because we recognize that there are different risk factors, drugs being one of them, right? And then the second is we really want to promote prevention, because that is our role, because we don't work with victims.
The Virgin Islands Puerto Rico Friendship Committee and the 31st Legislature of the Virgin Islands is holding Caribbean Colors and Dance, a free performance by Guatique Ballet Folclorico de Puerto Rico with guest performances by Dancing Classroom, Ala F. Mulla Elementary School, Bambula Dancers, and St. Thomas Heritage Dancers on Sunday, October 11th. 5 p.m. it begins. You can expect also a culinary arts expose at 7 p.m. It's all being held at the Reichel Center for the Performing Arts. It's a celebration of the cultural, economic, and political relationship between two jurisdictions dating back to the early 19th century. Now, the Reichel Center kicked off its 37th season, as you heard, with a dynamic jazz performance with the 10-time Grammy trumpeter Arturo Sandoval, and a Hallmark opener with local music ambassador Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Night, and a young protege of the great Dizzy Gillespie. Sandoval is one of the most vivacious and versatile jazz performers of our time. His passion for music took him from his poor upbringings in Cuba. Sandoval's contribution to social ails in Cuba prompted President Obama to make him a recipient of the 2013 Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. Now, Reichel Center Innovative and VICA hosted an arts and education workshop last Friday in which local students received a diverse opportunity to hear from Sandoval. Well, celebrating Virgin Islands Puerto Rico friendship, this lottery ticket commemorates Virgin Islands Puerto Rico friendship in conjunction with National Hispanic Heritage Month. VI Lottery celebrating the unique relationship between Virgin Islanders and Puerto Ricans. And another reason to celebrate, are you the grand prize winner? Here are the winning numbers.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on NEWS2. Here are the top prizes. Fifth prize for $20,000, 00241, 00241. Fourth prize for $30,000, 08867, 08867. Third prize for $40,000, 12394, 12394. Second prize for $65,000, 24665, 24665. And the winning ticket number of the grand prize for $175,000 is 07887, 07887. If your ticket wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is October 22nd. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
Good luck as you check those numbers. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.